Hey again, English 110 students. So here we are back in Module 4, but about halfway through. So let's look at this quickly on the student view because it's going to look a little different on my end and I think it's going to get confusing. So we'll roll over here into student view, and once you have moved through the module, you will get to a section that's about your essay. Please note, first of all, your essay is not due this module. You will have to turn in a full rough draft in Module 5, but you do not have to turn anything in this time. So just keep that in mind. But with that said, we do need to start working on the essay now so that way you're not freaking out and rushing to do it last minute during Module 5. So in here, this is sort of new for Canvas, so I just want to show this to you. So here's your regular module work, and then within module 4 you'll see this that says essay, and then it houses a little more information about the essay. And then the same thing here, it has a new section for draft and peer review, which houses a little more information about the draft and peer review. So before we talk about the upcoming draft and peer review, we need to talk about the essay. So we'll pretend you've gone ahead and you've finished the whole module, and now you're ready to look at the essay information. So you'll click in here, and this will bring you to the essay folder. And just a reminder that your final draft is due during week 7, but you do have work due next week. So we'll move over into the next part of this module and look at the essay prompt. So for this essay, you will choose at least 2 texts from the list below and write an essay comparing and exploring how character, point of view, setting, symbolism, or any recurring word or phrase contributes to the development of the same or a similar theme. Remember that the theme is not only a topic explored in a work, but also what the work implies about a topic. Be sure to state the theme in one sentence and draw on evidence from the text to support your claims. So in other words, you are looking at how one literary device is present within 2 separate texts, and then you're showing how that literary device operates within those texts. Please make sure, though, that you're not just doing what we talked about, I think maybe last module, could have been the module before, where you're not just fitting the square block into the square hole and the triangle block into the triangle hole. It's not just saying, oh, this literary device is here in these ways. Yes, this literary device is present in these ways, in these particular ways, and this is what it does for the text. So it's not enough just to say that it's there. What does that do? How does it change the shape of the text? How does it affect the way we read the text? So please make sure that you have a point to your essay. Also, in here where it says be sure to state the theme in one sentence and to draw on evidence. So this means be sure you have a thesis statement. To draw on evidence from the text means give me examples. So again, just to recap, you're looking at one literary device within 2 different texts and how that literary device affects the way the reader understands the text. Just a little bit of information, because I see this a lot, it would not be in your benefit to pick more than one literary device. Given the nature of this essay and its length, it's not great to try and say too much. Generally, the more narrow a theme or a topic, the better, because that gives you the opportunity to say a whole lot about it. So just a really quick example, many years ago, I had a student who I assigned a 3-page essay to, and he wrote me a 3-page essay about the causes of World War I. But his essay basically said nothing because you can't cover all of that information in 3 pages. It's just way too much to talk about. So during revisions, what I suggested then is that he talk about the causes of one singular incident within World War I. And technically that was probably too big of a topic too, but it was a lot better than the whole war itself. So in the same vein then, if you try to talk about every single literary device, there's not enough room in the essay. Pick one, pick the 2 texts like you're required, and just go from there. The best writers say too much, but then know how to cut back. So it's okay if you feel like you're saying lots and lots and lots of stuff and you're writing too much, that's fine. It's better to have too much to work with, but then reel it back in. I like to think about this sometimes as like a slice of pie, or even better, pizza, because I love pizza. If your topic is the whole pizza, your essay is only a slice of that pizza, or maybe it's a half a slice of pizza, or even a third of a slice of pizza. So you're not serving the whole pizza, you're just serving a portion of that pizza. And if you turn in pizza for your essay, you pass, because I love pizza. But that's another conversation. So here I have the text choices. This is just condensed in one place for you. You are welcome to pick any two texts that we have read this semester. So you're not limited to just, a few of them. Anything that we've read this semester, you can use. And now I will say though, by the time you work on this essay, we'll have not yet read Hamlet. If you think that you might be interested in writing about Hamlet, I would go ahead and start reading it now. It's in your textbook, and you can see the pages on your reading list for this semester. We're just not going to get there before the rough draft is due. So I'll leave that up to you, your choice. In any case, so here are the guidelines. Your essay must be a minimum of 650 words. And I don't mean 649, I mean 650 words. It's not a whole lot, so please make sure you meet that bare bones requirement. You must have your MLA headers, title, and a list of works cited. The works cited, the headers, and the title are not included in your word count. That's an old trick. Not going to work. You must follow the MLA guidelines for formatting the document, the mechanics of writing, grammar, etc., citing sources in the text, formatting the list of works cited, and so on. So basically, if it's in the MLA guidelines that have been provided on this course, within this course, you got to do it. Please be sure to include a document header, a page number header, and a clear, appropriate, and I should put in here, exciting title. Use either Times New Roman or Cambria font, size 12. The entire document is double-spaced, including your header and including your works cited. And please be sure to remove extra space between paragraphs of the same style. So what that means is if you hit enter to start a new paragraph, it's just a regular old double space. Microsoft Word will default to adding extra space there. You'll need to go into your paragraph settings and take that out. Your essay must be submitted as a .doc or a .docx, that's hard to say, file attachment. And then once we submit this essay in the last module, it will be submitted directly. Here it says Blackboard, but I should say Canvas. I will fix that for you. Into the Canvas content editor, like I showed you in the module 4 assignment, and as a file attachment. So I have to have both. And this is really just to ensure that I get it. If something happens and your file is broken, I have it in the content editor, or vice versa. If I'm looking at it in the content editor and it's not working, I can get it from the file. So it's really just to make sure that I get your paper, because once the semester has ended and you've moved on and I'm grading and turning in your final grades, that's it. So if it's not working, I can't grade it. So this is really just to make sure that your paper is turned in. Just a few tips here. Compose your essay in Microsoft Word or compatible word processing software. When you are ready to submit your work on Canvas, attach the file to the essay interface, which I'll show you in a later module. And don't forget to copy and paste your essay directly into the content editor. And because we're still working on the migration of information from Blackboard to Canvas, do note where it says Blackboard, I mean Canvas. I will show you the rubric in just a moment, but just a reminder, please know that your essay will be evaluated according to the essay rubric. And for help, you can contact the TAC for tech assistance, and of course, you can always contact Canvas too. There looks like there's a little bit of updating that needs to happen here, which I will certainly get to, hopefully by the time you're watching this video. But I have already provided the resources for you if you have tech help, or tech questions or Canvas questions, so you can use those. Same, no matter what. So then let's move on here. Let's go to next. Here is your essay rubric. So I will let you read through this at your own time for the most part, but do know that I will be grading everyone's essays according to this rubric. So it's in your own best interest to make sure you are familiar with it. In the world of composition and writing, having the rubric is equivalent to having all the answers to a multiple choice test. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I'll be grading everyone's essays. So please make sure you take the time to review it. And I mean, you can use this as a checklist to make sure that everything's on there, or everything's in your essay. And if you don't know what something means, ask me. Please, please, please. If you don't know what something is in the rubric, ask me and I will tell you. And it's like I'm giving you the answers. It's like magic. So I'll be looking at invention, arrangement, style, memory, and delivery, and for a total point value of 100 points, which kind of sort of doesn't seem like a lot, but we also have a 100-point peer review assignment coming up, which totals 200 points for your essay. So really, I mean, this is a pretty big chunk of your grade overall. So please, please make sure you are familiar with this. Okay, so let's look at the draft and peer review. You don't really, like I said, you don't need to turn in anything for this week, but it'll be good for you to know what you'll be doing next week so you can be prepared and kind of have a sense of how much work you need to do between now and when the peer review is due. So this course encourages students to approach writing as a process rather than a product. And so students will submit a comprehensive rough draft of the essay for peer review. By comprehensive, I mean complete. Not final submission complete, but the beginning to end is complete. After submitting a rough draft and receiving feedback, students will enact a revision of their writing, thereby demonstrating an awareness of the ongoing nature of their writing process. So there's two parts to this, part A and part B. Part A. The first part of this assignment requires students to attach a comprehensive rough draft of the essay and craft responses to prompts 1 through 3 below directly into the content editor. So the questions here, number 1, what is the topic of your essay and why have you chosen this topic? Number 2, what elements of this essay have you struggled with, formatting, organization, thesis statement, etc.? And number 3, list at least 3 elements you would like your peer to focus on while they review your paper. So you will answer these 3 questions about your own essay. Then part 2. The second part of this assignment requires students to provide feedback to at least 2 other students based on your peers' responses to prompts 1 through 3 listed above and the peer editing worksheet. So this part here is really important because once you submit your essay for peer review, your classmates will use your responses to these questions to help you with your paper. So you do part A and then you upload your paper and then the answers to these questions onto Canvas, and then your peers will use those questions, your essay, and the peer editing worksheet to give you critical feedback about your essay. And remember, critical feedback is designed to be helpful, but just like any other feedback in life, sometimes you use it, sometimes you leave it. So don't think that this is the time for your classmates to criticize you or anything like that. It's not. It's things that they think might help your paper improve. You might agree with some and you might not agree with others. So take it or leave it, but consider all of it. Okay, guidelines. Be sure to attach your draft as a .doc or .docx file and type your responses to prompts 1 through 3 above directly into the content editor. Make sure you have submitted a comprehensive rough draft or at least a slightly Make sure you have submitted a comprehensive rough draft. Your draft should be a minimum of 325 words and cover all elements of the essay: an introduction, a working thesis statement, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Your draft should exhibit an effort to format the document in MLA style. Your draft should demonstrate careful attention to documentation of sources in text and the list of references in MLA style. Your draft should be relatively, if not completely, free of grammar, punctuation, mechanics, and spelling errors. So the more that you work on this essay now and the more work you get done this week, the less you will have to do later. So go ahead and get this done as if you were submitting it. And then all you have to do is just go back and revise and edit. That's beautiful if that can happen. Part B for the guidelines. Provide comprehensive, constructive feedback to at least 2 of your peers by commenting on their posted drafts. I will be putting you in private small groups, so don't worry about that. We'll take care of that in Module 5. Your feedback should include a detailed evaluation using the peer editing worksheet. Your feedback should also include responses to prompts 1 through 3 above. Be sure to paste your feedback directly into the content editor. In other words, do not only submit an attachment with your feedback. Though you could do both. That would be nice. And if you see someone that already has received feedback from 2 people, then evaluate someone who has not received feedback yet from anyone else. Don't leave anyone in your class hanging. Make sure everyone in your group gets feedback. So the rubric, part A, your draft and reflection, is worth 50 points. Part B is also worth 50 points. Together, this is 100 points for the draft and peer review. And then, so that's 100 points for this essay, and then the other 100 points comes from actually finalizing and submitting your essay. And then here's the rubric, broken down a little bit more thoroughly for 100 points. I will let you read this at your own time. But again, just like the rubric for the essay, I'll be using this to grade all of your work. So please, please make sure that you review this. And then here is the peer editing worksheet. It will be nice for you to review this as you work on your essay so you know what to expect, so you know what your peers will be evaluating you for. So just go ahead and read through this to have a sense of what's going on, and you could even use this as a checklist. Are you meeting all of these expectations? Will your classmates have an answer for these questions? And then this is a PDF version of the same document if that helps you. Same. And last but not least, or maybe not last, but next, sorry about that, we have some MLA document templates. So I get a little bit rowdy sometimes about using MLA format. Here, this is really helpful. You can click this Word document and it's like fill in the blank style. Everything is already done for you. And then we'll just wait for my computer to work. Here we go. So here, this is what it should look like. So you'll just take out Sammy Seahawk and put your name. You'll take out Megan's name and put mine. You can leave English 110, add the correct due date, put your last name here. The page numbers are already situated. Your title goes here and you copy and paste your paper here. Really, there's no excuse to not have your work done. These are example citations. You will need to go back and edit these, but even this is done for you. I will say though that the years are not correct and the page numbers are probably not correct, but I mean 97% of the work is done here for you. So if you can just update that and copy and paste your paper, bada bing, bada boom, that's all you need to do. Pretty. And that's it for Module 4. So remember, the first half of the module is the work that's due this week. Everything pertaining to the paper, you need to start working on the paper, but nothing is actually due for it until next week. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. You can reach me at warfieldr@uncw.edu. Have a great week and happy reading and happy writing.